Hi guys, and welcome back to another kind of texture pack update video. So I'm just going to kind of go over what's currently going on with the texture pack and the kind of progress I've made, the kind of extra bits, and to get you guys' input. So stone is pretty much exactly the same as before. I've kind of added in this red marble. I've switched out. I didn't really like the kind of one I had here, but I think this is too red. I think I need a kind of deeper, darker one. Which will work quite nicely. So I've got this kind of red marble. This one I'm going to change as well. I'm not that keen on it. I think we've got enough in this. The grass is the same. These are all the same. I've just started to basically figure out what I'm going to do with the roads. So I'm going to start working on other stuff. So I've got normal one. I've got the ones that have got the manholes. I've got the ones that are going to have like potholes in them. I'm going to have one which is going to have like single yellow lines. So you're able to kind of pull this, and in the middle there'll be a line, and that'll wrap around as well. So I'm planning on doing some connected texture stuff with that. Single yellows, double yellows, and also a white line that you can use for the stripe in the middle. So instead of having to use up a full block, for example, it will actually have this kind of, almost like when you use, I'll just grab redstone, almost like when you use redstone you get this kind of strip in the middle. I'm basically planning on doing that inside the texture pack as an extra kind of data. So I'm going to have that on double yellows and all that kind of stuff. I just need to, as soon as I figure out exactly how to do it and spend some time, I'll be able to basically add all those in. I can then fix these pothole parts. But yeah, the extra cobblestone stuff, apparently there is, well, as I found out, there is tons and tons of extra metadatas for cobblestone. So this is one of the walls that I've got. It's kind of like a cracked mortar one. Also got a white kind of cobble wall, which is quite traditional. This large one, I'm probably going to change that. I'm not really too sure. I don't know. I'm just not 100% sure on that one yet. This one's quite nice. The small cobblestone wall. This is quite cool. Quite traditional. This is kind of like an old stone wall. So this is more in the stone brick. But I put it in here because the stone brick I kind of want to have quite clean. Whereas this is a bit more dirty. Another stone wall there. And then a white kind of stone wall. And this one's quite interesting because it can also be used for kind of a worn down house or a shed or something like that. Like kind of roof tiles. Or just to make something look really dirty and horrible. So that's quite nice. And these are another two that I've got that are just empty. Haven't done anything with those. Grass and stuff, I still haven't got around to doing those. Grass is just a pain. Also the wood stuff, that hasn't really changed. I need to redo that, but I did try another texture. It's just finding the right texture. I'm currently using a lot of free seamless textures that people have used and then which people have come up with and said, yep, you can use this however you want. And I'm kind of editing them to work in the texture pack and to kind of suit what I kind of want. So that's that. The sand hasn't actually changed at all, but I have kind of edited the bedrock. There's only one extra kind of metadata with bedrock, but we've got, this is the kind of standard one. I then got this black marble, so that will fit in with the white marble that I've got, and also, obviously, this black marble and red marble. And then you've also got the bedrock, the kind of normal one. This is the one that's standard in my texture pack if you don't have data textures. Actually, you can't see it anyway. Which is this kind of quite dark one there. So we went through all the sands last time, I believe, and the kind of reason for this. The ores and stuff, that's fine. Wood, still haven't got around to it. I actually asked Jag Thunder if I could use his sponge texture, as it's just awesome. And this was made by Eternity Forever, I believe. So all credit goes to him and also to Jag, you know, for allowing me to put this in, and also obviously the guy that made the texture. So that's really, really cool. I'm probably going to fill up all of these ones with stripes as well. At the minute, it's currently there for a placeholder, so I will probably switch this out for one of my own. As I would like the pack to be all of my own kind of textures, all my own edited textures from free seamless textures. But this is a really awesome placeholder. Glass, nothing on that. I'm just wondering if there's anything else. The wool, the white wool. Wool, what I did is I've started to basically make the texture a bit bigger. So just like I did with the stone, they can have multi-block ones. This one is now a 16 by 16, so it gives you this kind of really variated look. Instead of it just looking like the same texture like this one, you can tell that the same texture is being kind of repeated throughout. Whereas this one, it kind of looks more like a wool. I'm still not 100% sure on it. It's very difficult because I want to use the wool, the white wool and all these different coloured wools for my ships and also for buildings. So I'm trying to find something that works in between. I mean, this looks quite nice, and I do like that. I'm just not 100% sure on it. I almost missed out. Good God, I almost missed out this. Animated birds. Yep, I've got animated birds, and I'll show you guys those in a bit more detail as we go into the world. But that, oh good God, that took ages. This was a free animated GIF, but I had to make it work in Minecraft, which was an absolute nightmare. It took me hours, but I think it worked quite nicely, as you can see. But it's a cobweb, so it does look a bit weird. If you look at it at a very strange angle, you know, here the wings are kind of actually flapping. It gives it a kind of 3D look, but when you look at it at the side, you kind of get to see it from that other wing. So it kind of works in different places. What I'm going to do as well, I've basically given 6 different variations to these. So you get different colours that will randomly appear as you kind of place them. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to have the animations on each of those colours starting at a different time. Currently they're all in sync, and I want it to look like they're completely random. So I might do that either just by making another set which is slightly off and then another set that's slightly off and have all of those on random. Or I might, each specific texture, so the grey birds will then have a different thing. So instead of it starting on animation frame 1, it might start on animation frame like 4 or something like that. And it's kind of hard to explain, but basically this one will, I don't know, maybe when that one's flapping down, that one's flapping up, so it kind of looks variated. Butterflies, I'm gonna get rid of these. I don't like them. It's mainly to try out and see how you can make something circular with these, and you can see that it looks like they're actually going around. It's really goddamn difficult. This was another animated one, but actually getting it to fit and work, it was difficult. I'm gonna do some flies or bees or something. Explosions. Yeah. It's not supposed to be wooden spears. This is from a Conquest that I've kind of made this when I was doing Conquest, so it's got all the stuff in it, but I had to change that. Again, very, very simple texture. Another free animated one that I've put in, and then changed the colours and given it a bit more variation. I'm going to, again, offset that, but you can see that over here on the Baneblade tank, which I did a tutorial for a while ago. So yeah, like trying to make something kind of some sort of explosions, but this would look a lot better if it was all offset. At the minute it's too uniform, all those explosions are going off at the same time, but I was planning on having, for example, one explosion block here, then the rest is actually going to be smoke trading off. So I'm planning on doing a lot more stuff like that, so like animated smoke will definitely be in this pack. But you can see how many I've got to fill up. I've got ideas for lots and lots of them. What else have we got? Anything else interesting? Still got that obsidian. I haven't really switched out that. Probably the next big thing. There is obviously there's a lot actually that's gone into this one, but we God, I've got so much rubbish. Kind of been messing around with quite a few different little things, and these are just tiny little things. Again, if you follow me on Facebook, you've already seen this as I put up kind of screenshots to show you guys before it even goes on out onto these. My little test road here. I'm on the test road. Okay, no idea why I went over here. Oh, that was it. Right, got it. Yep, the sidewalk, like I said, I was going to change that for the wool. I need a different texture. I need some sort of stone texture. Just doesn't fit. What it does fit with, obviously, is the aircraft. So it's really, really difficult. I'll go into my other world where I've got the aircraft that are using the kind of stone slabs, and also made out of light grey wool, and you'll see what they look like. I just don't know, as it's going to be a mainly city thing, and again kind of a city pack. I've got to be careful with it, but I don't know. It looks a bit too smooth anyway, so I will probably retexture that, unfortunately. But what have I done with, for example, all these pressure plates, like the weighted pressure plates, the light one and the heavy one, you don't really use it for that much. So what I've done, oh yeah, is turn them into plates. And these are just randomly textured plates. This one, actually, the golden one. Is it the golden one? Yeah. That's the golden one. Doesn't really have too much on it, but I'm planning on adding more variation. But look, you got a sandwich, you got another sandwich, you got pasta. baked potato, ribs, chicken, a whole chicken. So that person's hungry. What's that? Baked potato still? I've got fish and chips somewhere. Where's fish? There you go, fish and chips as well. So there's a couple of variations, but I'll be adding loads of them, and when you step on them, they don't disappear. Some texture packs they do actually switch back, but it's actually a metadata, so you need to do 0 and 1. Otherwise it switches to the default texture. So we've got plates, and there's quite a few of those. I think there's only about 12 variations maybe. I mean, you've got an empty plate here, you've got one with forks, fork and knife. So there's that. Yeah, I can't remember, there might be like 12 variations maybe. This, however, is trays, so the fast food trays. And this I've got, I think, 48 variations. Something like that, and you can probably guess the logos. There's obviously McDonald's. That is actually a Big Mac, I think. Again, McDonald's. Oh, KFC. Yeah, we got some KFC there. You can just about make that out. Got some pizza. I'll probably change these because it's very difficult to make them look realistic. For example, this burger, if you're actually looking down on it, you'd have your burger sideways on the tray. So it needs editing. Also, this one, for example, it's got the fries on this red kind of tray. And it doesn't fit color-wise. So I've got a lot of like micro editing to do. For example, this one, yeah, the drink's goddamn sideways. I mean, that would just be spelling out everywhere. So I'm going to have to micro edit. Stuff like the pizza kind of works really nicely. But there is about 40 or 60 or... There's a huge amount of those. There's like 4 different coloured trays, and then I can't remember how many types of different food on it. But it's pretty nuts. Another one I'm working on is this kind of bug layer, which you can see this really bright one. That one was just me trying to add variation, but I went a bit too bright with it. So I'm planning on doing like this insect creepy crawly layer, which is going to be pretty horrible. Currently the textures don't line up with the animated textures. It's really, really difficult to get them to fit, so I need to re-edit this, but it's just a kind of idea to make, for example, those restaurants that look quite run down in those rundown parts of town. You can just place some of these bugs around, you know, it'll make it look and horrible. But like I was saying with my pack, I don't want it to be a super clean pack. I don't want it to feel like some sort of perfect city which has literally just been built, like the entire city has been put up in about 2 minutes or something. I want it to feel like it's been around for quite a few years, and it's not perfect. So yeah, we've got that as well. And I'm really not sure what I'm going to do with the wooden one. The wooden pressure plate. If you guys have any ideas for what I can do, because I've got the kind of posh kind of plates and lots of food. Got the fast food stuff, got the horrible insect layer, but I don't know what to do with the other one. And I honestly don't have a clue what to do with this one. So if you guys have got any ideas to you know, for me to put onto this, then give me, you know, kind of post in the comment section below, and I'll kind of add it to pack, or I'll try to add it to the pack. And that'll be really cool. Probably the next big thing, and this is a really major thing, which looks ridiculously cool. Basically, you can do biome-specific textures. So, that's actually a snow layer. This is a snow layer, surprisingly. And what I've done is I've got my sand texture, my kind of default sand texture, and it will match the top and sides of that sand texture. My sand texture is basically basically a 4x4 box. That's how big the texture is. So it's this big instead of it just being one block. So this is where your variation is, and the snow. Oh, actually, you can't place it on that. It needs to be on a desert or beach biome. But when you actually place it on top, it actually matches the kind of same pattern. So you can see this big blob on this one, where it's there, and also the side bit as well. If you take kind of note of something like that blob there, it's exactly the same texture. So it's ridiculously cool, and it will fade into it really nicely. So I'll jump into a world where I've actually got that kind of all done. I don't think there's too much else. I've redone the courts, so I might show you guys that. I can't remember if I showed you guys the courts before, but I basically messed around with the courts. There's not much to it. It's just more of a marble texture, and again, it's a 4x4. And I think it looks pretty cool. That's the one I'm trying to change into the black one, and also the red quartz, or marble kind of style. I'm really happy with how that turned out. It looks really cool on buildings and stuff, and as floors. so it kind of works double purpose. Pretty much every texture that I use in this pack, I want to have multiple purposes for. I don't want it to be kind of like a single purpose. For example, these do kind of have a single purpose, but you can use them in loads of different places. So let's jump over. Let's have a look at what I've got world-wise. Okay, let's have a look at the dunes first. Okay, so here I am in the sand dunes place. So basically this is all... Oh, I pressed a button. This is all desert. So basically, if you place sand in a if you place sand in the desert, if you place snow in a desert, it will turn into this sand texture. And this is going to be really useful for so much stuff. And I've got so many ideas to do with biome-specific textures, which metadatas add a ton. And you can actually see the snow here. That's the only problem with the minimap. I'm basically, yeah, metadatas add a ton of extra blocks. But with biomes as well, that's like timesing it by, I don't know, 10, 20, depends how many biomes there are. So it's pretty much made it so that you can get infinite blocks, pretty much. Infinite different textures, or pretty much close to it. And probably by the time that my pack is finished, it will have every single possible slot filled with something, just so that adds more variation. So yeah, I mean, I'm just really happy with how this turned out. And again, I used my dark sand down here. The only problem is placing down bushes and things like that. If you have there's an option in Optifine to make it so that, for example, if I grab fence, and I really need to retexture this wood, but basically underneath the fence, if it's next to a block, it'll make it look like it's snowed in. It's really, really cool as a feature. And it works with, you know, your like dead bushes and stuff as well. So it can be a bit of a pain like that. So you have to kind of make sure it's not next to one. But also when you get down to this, when I was saying kind of the last progress, I made this like darker sand as kind of like this riverbed. As you can see down here. You can't really smooth it out into it. I mean, I guess... Actually, no, you could. You can make it look like... Yeah, you could. No, don't listen to me. I just didn't set this map up properly. Yeah, you could actually just smooth it into that. So it works. That's fine. So you could actually have this kind of like little bits of these flat sand coming down. So that would work. But you can already see what it does. It looks really weird because it looks too smooth. And it's still cool. So, you know, there'll be that for desert and beaches. So you can make really, really smooth looking beaches, which is nice. It's really nice when you actually look down it, like here. So it looks just smooth. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. And I'm probably going to do a lot more stuff like that. The slabs as well. There's an extra slab, texture-wise. So I might do that, or I might do, for example, I'm planning on having Chinatown in my city. I might make a load of textures specific to a certain biome for Chinatown, so it'll be like a Chinese city style within inside my texture pack, which only happens at one biome, so you don't have to switch textures or texture packs. So that is going to be really awesome. But that's going to be way down the line after I've got all of the basics of the city. Then I'll do some of that. But that would be just completely awesome, I think. But yeah, you can look at the kind of coolness of it. Round. This one's ridiculously round, but this is mainly to try and make kind of sand dunes, and sand dunes are difficult. As soon as I figure it out, I'll do a well painted tutorial on it. But I think I'm gonna have to make some custom brushes for sand dunes. But yeah, let's have a look at another one. Okay, so I'm here in my old city, so the ships don't look great at all. Actually, I might keep this birchwood texture. I need to obviously do the log textures and the trapdoor textures and all that stuff. Ooh. No, don't like that. Or this. Yeah, that's actually the same texture. So, I might keep the birch though. I think the birch looks bright enough to work on stuff like the HMS Victory. Even though this is obviously a modern city, I've still got that ship in there. Huh, so I'll keep that. Yeah, you can see the sidewalk. And the kind of changes to that. But it looks too smooth. I think I need to put... If I'm going to use this, I need to put a border on it. That's pretty simple. I need to put a border on it. But it does look better than what I had before. The only place it doesn't really work, for example, bridges. I was going to use this for cinder blocks. I've decided to do a cinder blocks and another texture. Oh yeah, marble. God, I'm getting distracted on this. There's little bits I need to show you guys. I've done quite a lot. So yeah, there you go. There's the marble that goes down this. So it adds this kind of really nice texture to it. I'm so happy how that turned out. I think it just looks so clean and nice and textured and smooth. And yeah, I like that. But yeah, here we go. So it doesn't work on these parts, so I'd need the kind of cinder blocks, which is fine. It'd be nice to actually have a texture change anyway, from this kind of sidewalk to something like this, to actually have a different block. So that works. I've decided on that. Just going to fly down this street. Oh, yep. Almost forgot about these. I put some seagulls up in the air, so you can actually see them flying in kind of formation. Yeah, so they look really cool. It's just like a tiny little bit of detail, which can make it feel a little bit more alive. So when you're actually looking up, you're like, whoa, there's birds up there. So yeah, that'd be cool, especially when I start variating them even more, as they're kind of semi-random at the minute, I guess, just with colours rather than with animations. And animations go on and can go on forever. Let's have a look at this little helicopter as well. This is a UH-1 Huey, or the Huey. Oh, you don't want to look over there. Those are secret stuff. So I might do these out of purely quartz now, just to make it all look like it's the same material. And the quartz works for it really well. It's quite smooth. So same with the planes. I think I said that at last episode. Yeah, you can have a look at this as well. The buildings. So I haven't. This is still a single block texture for the wall. Whether I keep that or I go with the multi one, I haven't decided yet. It's very, very difficult to decide. I might try out the multi one, but it just takes a very long time to kind of basically map 16 different textures and put it into the kind of all that stuff. So I've got some birds around here as well, which look kind of cool. They do look kind of cool. So it's kind of cool. I just like it. You can also do kind of multi-block animated textures as well, so I might do that at some point. Again, it's just like a little bit of detail, just like a pixel, but it'll make it look more realistic. And skies generally in cities are just empty. So if you, for example, on this road had right in the middle, you had like a big flock of birds up here, it'd look a little bit more realistic. And I'll probably do another bird texture for ones in trees or something. I think that would be pretty cool. So let's fly over this gigantic kind of marble layer. Very expensive. To look at that texture, to kind of ask you guys about the sidewalk texture. And when it looks on, for example, the C5? I think that's a C5. Yeah, that's a C5. So this is just matched with the normal texture, the kind of the wool, so it looks ridiculously smooth. There we go. So you can't see any edges between these two. So yeah, do I keep that to make my planes look better? You know, oh, obviously here it doesn't really work. Or do I make it biome specific, like the sidewalk is biome? I don't know. It's going to get complicated. Because I want to try and make it as simple for you guys to pick up this texture pack and just build a city. That's the idea. But at the same time, I don't know. Do I add this? I might add in this slab, maybe. Then I might add in this slab as a biome-specific slab, just for building planes. So then at least when you just make this place like a little biome, and then you just can place down the stone slabs and they'll change. As long as you don't have stone slabs on the floor. So that's a problem there as well, depending on what your flooring is. So yeah, I don't know. Not 100% sure. Yeah, I'm just going to jump into one last world to show you guys. Okay, so here we are in a kind of Dakr City, but this is obviously not new Dakr City, but that'll be later on. Oh yeah, I still need to change that nether brick. God damn it! And I need to do sandstone, and I need to sort out this really shit wood. It just doesn't look right. As well as all of this. Obviously, this road just looks strange. Quartz looks good. So there we go. Quartz looks good. Oh, it doesn't quite match. Oh god. Yeah, I know what I need to do. Because this quartz block is a 16 by 16 texture, it doesn't match these stairs. So I then need to make a separate bloody CTM thing for stairs and slabs. Yeah, I've got to do that as well. I'm putting that on my list quite high up because I've already got the textures for it. I just need to figure out how they work. Yeah, okay. Anyway, let's go inside again. I need to retexture this and the windows and all of the wood. But there we go, fast food. So we got some fast food plates here, just to show you guys what it looks like. Obviously, this is a fancy ass restaurant, so I don't know why they're got like Burger King and McDonald's and all those other ones in here. And then upstairs I've got the more fancier one. I think this looks better for this type of place at least. And obviously there's a tutorial on this place, so that'll give you kind of ideas as well. The paintings, these are all the ones from Conquest. The paintings. Well, what I'm gonna do with the paintings is completely strip them out and not just use them as paintings. I think I'm going to try and do the detail in the actual textures themselves, so you don't have to put a painting up to make it look interesting, because the textures aren't kind of repeating as such. They're kind of like multi-block, you know, they're like 4x4. For example, this entire wall would look different. The entire section would be, every single block would have a different texture. So you don't need to put a painting on it. So I'm going to use the paintings for stuff like roadworks, road signs, and those kind of things, tunnels, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm planning on doing anyway. That's what I've got in my head for me to actually do, at least. So yeah, tell me what you guys think anyway. Tell me what you want to see as well. You know, what do you want? What do you guys want out of this texture pack? But the next kind of update video, I will be releasing a download for it. I won't be releasing one for it now, just because there's so much rubbish in it, like this grass. I need to get some of the basics done still. It just takes a while to kind of figure out stuff. I figured out a lot of the other blocks, but grass and dirt, that's actually a pretty specific thing. So yeah, tell me what you think. Tell me what you want to see in the texture pack. And I'll see you guys on the next video, and the next update video we will have a download, but not on this one, as it's completely incomplete. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.